We have such an exciting video to do today because we are going to be talking about the new Cosmic Brushes palette. This one is called the Undergrowth palette, and when I opened this palette, I gasped. I'm so excited to be showing you this one. I was sent this one a little bit early because the owner, Faye, knew that I was going to be traveling quite a lot in September, and she was unsure when this one was going to be revealed and launched and all of that. So she sent it to me a little bit early in case I did want to do something with it. And I truly appreciate that because this is one of my favorite brands and I really enjoy their formula. I really enjoy their palettes. You know that I do that. I have so many videos featuring these products. I just think they're absolutely amazing. And when I saw this cover, I knew that we were in for something really fun. Look at this. Ah, it's so pretty. So this is the grungy greeny neutral palette we have been waiting for. I love a color scheme like this. This palette has what I really love, which is grungy colors. It is colorful, but yes, leaning and flirting a little bit with the neutral. So neutral lovers will see this as a neutral palette with color, and color lovers will see this as a colorful palette with neutrals. And it has both cool tones and warm tones, light shades, dark shades, shimmers. Very excited about this one. I don't know when this one is launching as I'm filming this because, like I said, I'm pre-filming a little bit, but I will put all the information down in the description box when it's launching, where it's launching. Cosmic Brushes is a UK-based indie brand, and you can use my discount code Angelica and get some money off when you're ordering from them. And if you want to see more things about Cosmic Brushes, I think I have a full playlist. I will leave that down below in case you want to see how I feel about the other palettes too, because spoiler alert, I absolutely adore them. So let's jump into this palette right here. Like I said, this is what the palette looks like. It is a greeny, neutral, grungy dream. It's called Undergrowth, and as I'm filming this, I have not swatched it yet. I've only taken a couple of pictures, but I can see that some of these shimmers are truly like special shades, and we'll talk more about the composition of all of that towards the end of the video. I prefer, if I can, to not swatch a palette before I use it for the first time, because I feel like sometimes when you swatch it, I immediately have a feeling how I feel about the palette and I would like to use it first. I hope that that makes sense. But I'm gonna do two different looks. I'm wearing this beautiful like yellowy top today. I actually got this quite recently from Zara. I saw this color and I knew I needed it, and I've already found so many occasions to wear it. I even brought this one to Italy. Absolutely enthralled with this top. Also, speaking of the Italy trip, my trip for Greece is actually live right now. If you want to read more about that, that will be either in the community tab, and I'll try and remember to leave that down below as well, because I know a couple of you wanted to know when that one is launching. And as I'm filming this, because like I said, I'm pre-filming this, that trip actually launched today, so I'll try and remember that to leave that down below. But yeah, let's dive into this one. I was thinking I was gonna do one that is like a green, like the cool tone and the warm tone greens clashing. I think that's what I'm gonna do today. I wanna use these two, and I wanna use this one and just do like a green, cool tone and warm tone, and show you how you can get contrasts between dark and light and between cool toned and warm tone, even though you're doing a monochromatic green look. And then I thought maybe we'd do just a smoky brown look, because there are some really interesting shades here, and I kind of want to just show you how you can stay neutral as well. Because when you have a palette that has more versatility, like this one, I don't necessarily want to do the most brightest looks I can. I want to show you versatility, versus the opposite. If I'm doing a palette that's like very neutral, I want to show you how bold you can go with like depth or colors or anything like that. I hope that that makes sense. I'm hoping to do even more looks in the future, but let's zoom in and we can start with the first one. I'm so excited to finally be playing with this. I've had this for a couple of days here and I'm just like smitten. I'm gonna start with Marsh because I want to use these two, and then, well, I'm guessing this one, Nettle. I'm gonna use those in the outer part of my crease, and I'm gonna start with Marsh. This is like the color of my People are like, you shouldn't match your makeup to your clothes. Bah, humbug. Of course you should. Why not? If it makes you happy the way that it makes me happy, then nothing should stop you from doing that. Oh my god, look at this color. Absolutely deliciousness. That is so impressive. Okay. So this is the shade Nettle, and I don't know how pigmented this is, so I'm trying to like be a little careful so I'm not like overdoing it. But we are gonna build that in the outer corner, and then we're gonna do those cool tones. I used a little bit under my eyes as well, the same 2 shades. And I'm thinking maybe I'm gonna go in with a small brush, and I might use Bark, which seems to be, I don't know if it's a black or if it's a black and brown. But I think I'm just gonna do, yeah, just a little bit darker in the outer corner before we go in with the cool tones. I didn't end up using this one because I was able to do such a nice blend with just the Marsh shades. I think I'm gonna save this one as an inner corner highlight, maybe, or maybe I'll even use this one. There's so many nice pastels in here. I love when there are pastels in. I feel like, you know, when you see a fiber, I feel there's a fiber. So far I've used this one, and this one. And now we are gonna play with these 2, Vegetation and Herbarium. And we'll start with the Herbarium. Herbarium. I think it's Herbarium. Am I saying that incorrectly? Oh, I love when shades pick up like this. And I'm using an EO4, which is probably the brush that I use the most. I could literally do my entire eye look just using this brush, not even joking. Look at that. Wasn't already married, I'd marry this shade right here. So I'm gonna do this one in my inner part of my crease. You can see here. The inner part of my like inner corner and on the lower lash line. I'm literally wrapping the inner part of my eye with this color. Do you see the contrast? This makes me so happy. And I'm putting a little bit on the inner part of my lid too, just buffing this out a little bit. And then we're gonna go in with the shimmer. I feel like I'm speechless, but that is so good. Absolutely a big fan. So, okay, Vegetation, which is the cool tone shimmer that I showed you. Picks up really good. This is an EO1. I am gonna spray it though because you can tell I have like powders on my eye, and I want to make sure that this one is as opaque as it can be and that I get as low fallout as possible. And still I get fallout because I'm messy. I'm putting this in the middle of my lid, and then I'll follow up with the matte shade again to make sure that the edge is as blended as possible. And then with the same EO1, I'm gonna clean this off. We need to pick something for the edge here. Something that is, a green, but a little bit more warm tone. I'm thinking, because this one has a green shift. Maybe? Or should we do this one that's a little bit more goldy? No, let's do this one. And I'm just doing that on the edge. Okay, that's gonna be great. The reason why I'm doing this, and now I'm gonna go back with some of the matte shades that I had. The reason why I'm doing this is because this gives the transition between the cool tone into the warm tone, and it just makes it slightly more blended. And now I'm just blending over the edge again. And honestly, I think that this looks great. I have a little bit of fallout. That could be the shades being fallouty, but it could also be me just putting too much on my brush, which is something I do. But look at that. Look. Oh, that is everything. I am so excited about this look. First, I was like, oh, I'm gonna film both of the looks today, you know, take one off and film another one. But I am sorry, I like this look too much. This one needs to be worn a little bit more. So I'm gonna keep this one on, looking fire. I'm gonna film another video instead because she deserves a little bit more attention. Absolutely loving the first look. Let's get into the second one. I hope it's as good as this one. But honestly, I don't even know if that's possible. I look so cute in these little clips. It's a look. It's a look for sure. I am actually wearing, I'll see if I remember to put these things in the description box. Remind me otherwise. I'm wearing the Toffee lipstick by Juvia's Place today. I haven't worn that in a hot minute, and I thought we'd do a little bit more of a warm neutral look. So we're going to be playing with this one, probably this one. Let me start with the sludge and then do the clay, and then we're going to do this one. No, this one, the one that's called Swamp. It's like a very sparkly, like darker brown, and I really feel like that's gonna be a vibe, I hope. So I'm gonna start with sludge, and I'm gonna put that in the crease. I know I always do a lot of like really bright and colorful looks, but I also want to show that you can do other things. You can go a little bit more neutral if you want to, but I'm really feeling a smoky eye today. So we are going to start with this one, and you can see I'm doing like a hook around in the crease so that we can have like a darker outer corner, and I'm not dragging it out so much. We're going to do a little bit more of a, I don't want to call it softer look, but we're not going to like point it out as much as I always do. We're going to do a rounder look. And then with a smaller brush, I'm gonna go in with clay, which is the slightly lighter, more orangey brown. And I'm putting that first in the inner part of the crease, because I like to keep it a little bit more lighter and open towards the inner part. And then we're taking a little bit and we're dotting it on the edge, and we are gonna start blending this out. I can hear my dogs in the downstairs, you know, when they're like knocking something over, and you're like, I hope that wasn't expensive. And you can see I like this brush that is like pinched, because I can put it on the line and blend an area that's a little bit bigger without getting it to be higher. So it's perfect to blend when you want to make sure that you're getting an even blend on the edge, but you want to also make sure that you're not carrying the shadow too close to your brow. So we're just blending on this edge, trying to make it rounder rather than more cat eye shaped. I'm gonna try and do the same colors under my eyes, and I am gonna keep this look being matte on my lower lash line. I personally, like, if you look at me, I have a lot of fine lines under my eyes. You can see I have loose skin, and when I keep my lower lash line matte, I do feel that it helps to not conceal it, because it's not something to be ashamed of, but I do feel like matte colors just look better on my lower lash line where I'm at right now. Sometimes I like to put a little here just to lighten up the inner corner, like under, not the inner corner, but like under the tear duct here. I think that's pretty cute. But today I'm gonna keep it all matte, and I'm gonna carry, let me see if I actually can do a little bit on the EO1, just on the side. And I'm gonna carry it all the way in. So the darkness is out here and then all the way in. And then we're gonna do that shimmer all over the lid. I usually don't do a dark shimmer all the way in, but today we're gonna do that, and that's gonna create that smoky eye. So this is the shade Swamp, and it is a little bit flaky, and I know that most shimmers do better. If you pick them up with your brush, you take a spray. This is the Clarity Mist by Pixie. I basically just pick up whatever setting spray I have in front of me. If you have one that has glycerin in it, that's better, because it makes it a little bit more tacky, and it helps you from getting too much fallout. It makes the shadow as foiled as possible. I still always pick up too much, so I always get fallout. I'm a mess. And it helps you to get more control, because where you put it down, it's gonna stick down better because you sprayed the shadow before. So let me see if I can get a little more and just spray it again. And I'm gonna put that out here. You can see the shadow is darker than, or like the shimmer is darker than, oh, that is a big flake. Let's get rid of that one and put that back in the pan. Back in the pan with you. I try to put it all the way in the outer corner when I do a smoky eye with a shimmer like this, where the shimmer is darker than the crease, because that really helps. And then I do small motions. I tug on the edge. I don't do circular motions because you're gonna get just even more fallout. I just tug on the edge so it disperses the shimmers a little bit more and makes the gradient into the mattes a little easier, so that you get that dark smoky eye with the shimmer on the lid, and it goes into the matte crease. I will say this is probably the easiest way to do a smoky eye, to put a shimmer on the lid, because if you do a fully matte smoky eye, which you definitely could do, I could just have put the really dark shade on the lid, but since it is such a wide area and it has all those creases, and you know how lids are, they're a little crinkly, it can be hard sometimes to make that area non-patchy. A shimmer is much more forgiving, so it's going to look a little bit more polished and professional with less effort. But I'm not putting it in my inner corner. We'll put something else there. So I did put on mascara, and I'm gonna do, I think this is Brouhaha. No, this is Sunnyvale. It's the warmer brown from Colourpop. And since we're having a warmer crease, and since we're doing a smoky look, I'm gonna keep the waterline smoky too. So now that we have the smoky lash, like everything is going on with the smokiness and the lashes, we're gonna do just a little bit of a brighter inner corner just to brighten this up a little bit. I'm gonna use Reeds, which is this one here. It's like almost, it's not white, and it's almost got like a yellow beige undertone, and we are gonna do just a little bit to brighten up the absolute inner part here, just to open it up a little bit and to prevent this place from showing some of the folds that I have gotten with age, because my lids, as you can see here, have become very hooded with time, and you can see it carries all the way in here. So I feel like a matte inner corner just helps to disguise that a little bit, so that we can focus on what's going on the lid and in the crease instead. It's kind of unusual looking in the viewfinder and seeing this like brown thing, but I gotta say, it's very pretty. It's very smoldering. I love me a good smoky eye. And I really wanted, because sometimes it's very easy to get like caught up in the greens and be like, greens! But I just wanted to show you that like you can go so neutral with this palette if you want to as well. This is definitely a half neutral, half murky greens kind of a palette with a pop of cool tones up here in the corner. Very much enjoying this. And the more I look at this, the more I'm like, this is an even more, like it's like the indie, even slightly more colorful version of the Natasha Nomayake palette. It is in the same neighborhood of color stories. There are some similarities to it for sure, and I am really enjoying this palette. I love these kind of colors. I love murky greens. I love warm tones. I very much enjoyed this one as well, and the quality per usual is great. There are two special shades in this palette as I can see, and it's this one here, and now that I've swatched it, I'm almost, can you see? Yeah, you can see a little green shift there. It is like a grass green to a peach gold. Very pretty. And now that I've swatched that, and I'm like, should have used that for sure. I need to do another look and show you how beautiful that is. And I need to think about like what that look would be. Stunning. And then we have this one here that's called Undergrowth. That is like a bronze going to like a, yeah, it's like a almost a reddish bronze going to a gold going to a green. Very interesting as well. So yeah, overall, I really enjoy this palette, and I have a sneaking suspicion that this one might be a favorite of mine because of how much this color story aligns with the kind of makeup that I like to do right now. I also like, now that I say that, I'm like, really love some of our other palettes too. So maybe that's a true test of how much I like the quality of this brand and how much I love the color stories that they do, that I really have a hard time saying which one is my favorite, because I like them all so much. So if you were wondering, is this the same quality as her other palettes are, I would say yes. I haven't had any problems at all applying these colors, blending these colors, building these colors. I think this is a beautiful palette, and if you like this color story, I'm sure you would enjoy this a lot. I will leave all the information about the launch, the price, the time it's launching, and of course my discount code down in the description box, so don't forget to check that out in case you're interested in this palette. And I'll try and remember to leave the other things that I'm wearing on my face as well, because I did end up wearing the same face products actually throughout both of these looks. So I hope you enjoyed the looks, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you real soon again in a new video. Bye!